Hey guys, PeeCarNoo here, bringing you another GTA 5 video, and today we've got some GTA 5 tips and tricks, tutorials, how to do good things and epic little camera moments in the Rockstar Editor. And this is what this video is going to be like, and it's going to be a live video, so bear with me, there's going to be no editing involved. And all this is going to be doing is just showing you guys some of the best camera tricks and how to go inside the cockpit view and get some nice transitions and things like that, how to add some of the effects really quickly in this game. And obviously, as you guys know, you can record clips in GTA 5 and GTA 5 Online by holding down the D-pad and then pressing X to record the clip. Your clips always go to you can view back your clips in clip management, as you can see there, and you can view by date, name, size, today, whatever, and you can favorite certain clips. So if you just want to look at the clips that you've done, you can favorite them, and then when you load your project, so if we go back one, if we create a new project, we can add a clip, and you can see the favorite ones are highlighted in blue, so we know which ones are good or not. But for this video's sake, we're just going to go with this clip here, and you can see as soon as you click on it, you get this timeline, and all you want to do is, obviously this is the first clip I've added, so I'm going to edit this, and this is going to load into the editing screen. And the Rockstar Editor is actually a really powerful tool. It's really good how it is, and it's actually quite amazing. So as you can see on the bottom, we have a timeline, and we've got these little markers. Now what you can do is, if you hold down your right analog stick, left or right, you can skip forward, skip back, but as you can see, they highlight these little markers, so you can see every time I go back onto it, it highlights. Now if you want to trim the clip to a starting position, you can hold down the L1 and R1, and then you can use the right analog stick to scrub, as it's called, and then you can say where you want the clip to start. So we'll just say here, for example, and then if you press R1 or right trigger on Xbox, you can skip through all the different camera angles. So when we add markers, they're all different camera angles, so we can skip now to the last part of the clip, and we can just scroll all the way back to where we want the video to actually end. So for this video, we're just going to have it end. Let's have a look. It's quite a long clip because you can actually record. Oh, this is actually an epic moment, this. So we're going to do it from here, as I do a little barrel roll there. So we'll do it from there. So if I press L1 now, I'm going back to the start, and in cameras you've got different camera options, obviously, as you can see here. Now free camera is the one that most people will tend to use, and it's most one that I use really, because it gives you a lot more freedom. And you've got different effects straight away, you've got different presets. You can look at the target, which means if I play this now, it's just always going to look at me, so as you can see here. We can move with the target, which means it's going to constantly move. As you can see here, the camera is going to stay with the car. And you can also do things like mount type. So flexible means the camera will start to move about. Rigid means it's just going to be fixed onto, and that's rigid is very good for inside cockpit view, which I'll touch on in a little while. Blend mode we'll get into in a little while. And shake is obviously the amount of shake you want. You can do different presets like vibration, explosion, quite cool, and then you can do the intensity as well, and the shake speed. Edit camera, which is obviously what we're going to do, so we're just going to set all these to none for now. Edit camera, and obviously we can zoom in and out, can change the different angles. So if we just want a nice ground view there of that car going by, now if I select that, you can see if I play this, the camera's just going to stay there and the car's just going to move. So we need to pick a moment. As you can see, I'm fine tuning the timeline at the bottom. We need to pick a moment where another camera is added. So we press X to add another camera, so we go back to camera, edit camera, and as you can see now, the car is down here. But we want to capture this, so let's get a nice behind view and position it here. So now, if I press X on that and then go back, you can see I've got these two lines. If you pay attention to the markers at the bottom, I've got this camera here, so when I play that, it's just going to go straight to there. And if I do it in slow motion, just so you can see a bit clearly, you can see there's two different views there. Now to add slow motion, all you need to do is you need to go onto the marker you want. So for example, we'll go on this first marker. If you go on to speed down at the bottom, you can go all the way down to 5%, which is really slow. But as you can see, the camera is fixed, so the car's just going to start moving away from it. So what we want to do, if we want to track that car, we'll just say move with target. So now the camera is moving with the car. And this is really good for like panning shots of different cars altogether, obviously. It's really good. So obviously that's changing the speed of it. You can fine tune it by here as well, but you don't really need to bother with that. And then under cameras as well, what you can do is, for example, if we want to go further down here on the timeline, if we want an in-shot cockpit view now, we can add marker, camera, edit camera, and what we can do is we can actually just go inside the car. It's just a free camera, so you can just go inside anything. We want a nice cockpit view like that. That's quite nice. Edit that. Now what you want to do with this is you want to move with target, and you want to move with the player, because you are the player of the actual editor, obviously. So, and you must make sure mount type is on rigid, because if I leave it on flexible now and play itself, you're just not going to get a nice effect. So what you want to do is you want to leave it on to rigid itself, and that means the camera is guaranteed to stay within the cockpit view, and you're just going to get this nice effect. So slow motion, and then you're just going to get a nice transition. Obviously we need to move this marker here. If you need to move a marker further down, you just simply press L1 and R1, and you can just move this all the way down. So that means we're going to get this camera view now for a longer period of time, as you can see here. So that's always good. Right, so we're going on to like a little apex here. So let's put a camera here. I can't see shit. And we're going to do we're going to take this off. We're just going to do edit camera, and we're going to get a nice view here in slow motion. So we can fine tune where we want it to go. We can look at the target if we want, but we're just going to leave it on none. We're going to put a bit of a shake on, ground vibration, and just add that a little bit. And then we're going to put the speed onto about 20%, and as you can see now when I play this, you're just going to get that nice shot there. And obviously the camera goes off view, so when the car is sort of off the screen, you want to add another camera and just get that shot behind the car or in front of it. So as we can do here, we position the camera there, and now when we play this, you're just going to get a nice effect going up there itself. Now to blend the view, as you can see here, when I play this, the camera is from there to there. There's no transition. So what we can do is go back to the marker you want it to blend to, and what we'll do is we can add a blend. So blend, you've got linear and you've got smooth. Linear is the one I use mostly. What this means is the camera is going to do a nice panning shot to the other camera, and this is worked best on a slow speed. So for example, now if I play this, you can see the camera is just panning slowly itself. So we'll play that again, and you can just see it's getting a nice transition to the next camera, which is really good. So if I want to add the camera now to the top of the car, the same again applies. So you just place the camera wherever you want, and if I want it there, just press X on that. And then we want to move with target, so we're moving with player. You can see the arrow drops there, and we want it on rigid. So now if I just want to up the speed a bit, because otherwise we'll be here till next year. So that camera comes into view there, and then the next camera goes there. But if I wanted to blend that shot, so blend this camera view here into the on top of the camera, we can put blend mode on linear, and if you watch it now, so we've got this nice linear shot here, and then you can see the camera now is slowly panning on top of the view there. So it's really good. Now that is mainly the basics of the camera. Obviously you can do things like roll the camera as well by pressing right on the D-pad. You can roll the camera all the way left or right, depending on what you like. So that's quite a cool preset. What you can also do as well is you can add filters, so effects. Now what you can do, in the first video I didn't know this, but if we added a filter, for example, like something like this, obviously you can do the intensity, bring it down a bit, saturation and things like that. Now I thought you had to manually do this for every single marker, and if you think about it, guys, if you've got 100 different camera angles, which you know in some of the videos you can get, it takes so much time doing that. So what you want to do is at the bottom you've got a copy and paste effect. So if I'm happy with this effect and I want it to apply on all markers, press L3, which is going to copy that effect. And as you can see now, I can press X to paste effect. So now, this view here, this different camera has not got an effect. But instead of manually going into here and then replicating the effect I want, I can simply just press X. And look, it's applied it. So press R1, go to the next marker, X, and then X, X. Obviously, you still got to do this manually for every single one. So you will be pressing R1 for about 100 times, depending on how many camera views you've got. But it's a lot quicker than manually adjusting the percentage and things like that. So That's always a good thing as well. So that's definitely a really cool little tip that I found out. I didn't even know you could do that, so that's always good as well. Now, in terms of actually recording, obviously when you render this clip itself, Rockstar only allow you to do on 720p, and it's quite a low bitrate 720p, which is why some of the quality is not that good. As you see, many people that mainly just upload from the actual PS4 itself. The way I do it is, if I'm happy with this, obviously by pressing save, which is the touchpad on the PS4, so we can press save on that, and we can just scroll back, return to the timeline. What I do now is, if I scroll back, I go down to full preview, and I preview this project, but I actually record it on the Elgato from the computer, so it's streaming in full, it's recording in full 1080p. So now I can just play this how it would be playing, and you know, record it from Elgato, which is a 1080p, and then just obviously put it into Sony Vegas, and then edit the little bits I need to do, and add the music and things like that. So that's how I record it, and that's why the quality on some of the videos that I've done look really good, because they are exported from Elgato and things like that. Now in here you can add things like ambient track. I've never actually looked at these because I use my own music, but I suppose there's some cool things to add. Radio track. Alright, you can actually add radio tracks as well, I didn't know that. So you can do that on there. Score tracks as well, so you can do that. Add text if you wanted to, wherever you want as well, full screen. And then what you want to do is you want to save project as, give it a name, so you know it's you know what you're going to be coming back to later on. And then obviously export is what you do. If you'd have an Elgato, you'd export it, and then that way you could upload it straight to YouTube. But yeah guys, that's basically how you get the little tips and tricks basically in the camera angles. Like I said, I'm having so much fun with this. It's really interesting to look at all the different concepts of different cars and just mess around with it. It does take a lot of time. It does. Now, from my first videos, you were looking around about 6 to 7 hours on the first couple of videos. Now I'm used to it. You know, you can still do a whole video in about 2 to 3. So it's still a hell of a long time just for some camera angles, but it is worth it, and it does look amazing. When you add some music onto it, it's so good. So guys, that's just an insight of the Rockstar Editor. You know, some of the things you can do, some of the little camera tricks and what they mean, for example, and the trimming points. So guys, you wanted this video, leave a like if you are new, if you did enjoy the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. There'll be plenty more of these coming up, and I'll see you in the next video guys. Cheers.